This is a continuation of our first topic on meeting your client. Today, on this video, we are going to talk about your strategy call and your demo with the client. What does it mean when you have a strategy call or demo? So, this is apart from your first encounter with the client. This is your second meeting with them, your second goal with them, or second meet up via video call or on the phone. Pero most likely this is like when you have a strategy call, usually it's a video call na, because you need, this is a deeper encounter with them. Now, usually when we're doing this, you will sit down and plan the job itself. You can offer this like a free consultation. It's okay. Remember, hindi ito interview ha. Nasa strategy call ka na. Parang you are one step closer na lang, and then you will be closing the deal. So when you are here, this is the third step already in the process. This is where you will be laying down deeper. Kasi yung unang call, it could be a discovery call. So 'di ba, nag-job proposal ka. So it's a written proposal with your portfolio, with your video showing the client that you have an interest, and then the client responded with you, okay, sure, let's have a call. That's your first meeting with them. You are only asking information about the job. Remember, this kind of technique that I am showing you are for high ticket clients that you will go through a long way. It's a long-term project. You don't do this for one-time logo, halimbawa logo. Pwede kang makipag-meet, siguro, for sit down with them, one strategy call with them, like how do you want this to be done? Or if you have like a portfolio, usually it's done like that. Parang tapos na on that. Pero when it's a consistent client, let's say you are going to do a funnel, a website, with them. You are going to do an email sequence, may kasama pang email sequence. You're going to do a funnel design wherein there will be a webinar. You have like a lead funnel, you have ebook, you will be composing the email for them. There are so many, yung napakaraming mga branches on the side. If it's a Facebook client, so you will be strategizing. You need to see their work now, papakita na nila sa'yo yung mga P&L nila and all that stuff. This is the third one. This is where it's applicable. Okay? So this is where you're going to sit down in a deeper level. Usually ito, yung iba meron na silang contract. Yung iba naman, one step closer to the contract. Okay? The best way to have a screen share with what you do is you can use Zoom, you can use Google Hangout, or you can use Skype. The way that I'm using right now is Loom. This one is not for calls. This is for recording your screen, like the one that I am doing, and you are also speaking in front of the camera. But if they are with you on the call, you can either use Google Hangout, Skype, or Zoom na merong mga screen share. Okay, so the things that you can show on this sales or strategy call are all your portfolios before, previous sample of your work, kasi dito ipapakita mo na yung talagang mga ginawa mo. Yung unang call na parang hello call nyo ni client, yung introduction call, siguro mga lang yun, 30 minutes or less, or probably 1 hour. Like I said, this is a deeper conversation with your client. And before you do this, tatansyahin mo rin. You can actually have a strategy call na on the first call pa lang. So it's up to you. There's no one rule with everything. It depends how it goes with your project kasi iba-iba naman yung client. But what I'm trying to tell you here is that this is another call that another topic and another technique that you can use aside from the very beginning. Kasi yung first date ninyo, usually, the first date with the client is more of like, tell me something about yourself. Ganyan. Yung second date ninyo, which is this one, is on a deeper level na. Kasi you already know the client eh. The client is already familiar with you. Okay? So, malapit ka na. There's a there's a 90% chance that you will get this client because you are already at this point wherein you're showcasing your studies before, and your portfolios, ganyan. So you have to share your screen for any graphic presentation that you have. Nakukuha ba? I hope it's clear. So on this second call with them, you must talk about how you are going to resolve their concern. How do you have, or do you have any turnaround table in doing this? And what are the deliverables they will receive from you? Like I said, mas malalim na yung topic dito than the first one. Okay? Ask them if they have any questions, clarifications. If they are ready to proceed, you have to ask them. So you can say like this: we've met the second time and I put down my plans. What will it take for us to get to the next level? And I am officially going to work with you. So you can ask that. Okay? So this is already our second time. Parang ano ba? Oo ba o hindi? Sa panliligaw, di ba? Ayan. So, never be afraid to ask. Sometimes, yun lang yung hinihintay nila, to ask, for you to ask. Okay, and they will say, yeah, sure, okay. Let's go ahead and sign the contract. Let's go ahead and put a contract on Upwork. Ganon. All right? So, never be afraid to ask them, what will it take in order for me to get you as a client? So, screening your soon to be clients, let's talk about that. Like we mentioned a while ago, being a freelancer is the ability for you to also have an interview. So, this is ang haba na nung flow mo, ang haba na nung process mo. By this time, you would already know if the client is a good fit for you as well. Diba? Hindi ka lang ini-interview just because you want to get the job. I want you to understand that you are worth it as well, and that you will not have a bad client. If you have a bad client in Upwork or in Fiverr or anything or anywhere, especially if you are protecting your feedback, your job success, you're being not top rated, getting a client is very crucial. You have to make sure that that is the right fit for you and that is the right client for you. Because if you have landed on a very bad client or a rude client, that will affect you as a person. You have to protect your scoring in Upwork. Protect your reputation at all costs because this is your bread and butter. Diba? Dito ka kumukuha ng clients. So never hesitate to ask questions and don't be just a yes man or woman to them like, okay, yes, yes, I agree. Yes, yes, yes. Okay? The clients even appreciate you asking them questions because they know that you are interested in helping them. Some of the guide questions that you can ask your clients when you are already on this deep level interview: what do you want to achieve in this project? If you haven't asked that in the very beginning, why do you want to achieve this goal? How do you want to achieve it? And what is your timeline? Sometimes, I remember I also have experience in asking the clients, um, what kind of freelancer are you looking for? Yung mga ganon. Mga ganong pang Miss Universe na tanong. What is your timeline and how do you want to achieve it? Usually, sasabihin naman nila yun sa iyo. Pero minsan, may mga client na passive na hindi sila masyadong nagsasalita. So, you have to draw that information from them. The reason why you are asking these questions is we want to know the real problem and how we can solve it. Sometimes the client does not know at all kung ano ba talaga yung problema nila. All they want is this help. Pero ikaw as an expert, you might have another recommendation pala for them. Or sometimes they thought that they want this skill, but another will be able to help them with your problem. For example, the client thought that they only want FB marketing, pero they don't realize that they might also be good with monetizing in Instagram. That's another money for you. Or they also need SEO service, or they need Google Ads too. So you are the expert, you recommend to them. Okay? That is why they are hiring freelancers because they don't know what to do. Majority of them. Okay? So you ask them directly, what are you looking for in a freelancer? And so now you can qualify. Now you ask yourself, can you do it? After you hear everything from the client, is this the client that you want to work with? Can you work together? Do you feel like certain vibe in this client? Okay, you can stack up your values and offer to your clients as well. Make a better package that suit their need, something that can also help them save time and money. Now, I'm gonna show you ang Fiverr. Maganda ang ano niyan, ang magaling ang Fiverr pagdating um sa pagsa-stack ng mga upsell. Yan. So, I'm just gonna show you. I know we are talking about Upwork here, but I'd like to show you what it means like when you are stacking up values and offer to your clients, how you do the upsell. You can actually do this as well in how do you call this, in Upwork. Ganyan. So, kuha lang tayo ng random people. Ayan. So, this one, ang offer niya is that this person will be a content creator on FB, Instagram, and content. So this person has a basic. I'm just giving you kasi mas maganda yung ano yung visual, yung visual presentation ng Fiverr pagdating sa presenting ng mga freelancers. So meron siyang basic, meron siyang standard, and meron siyang premium. Sometimes kasi the clients don't know what they want. They want the simple. They want the simple menu. Pero ikaw as a freelancer, someone who knows a lot better sa niche na yon, mas kaya mong command ng better service and better recommendation na maaaring hindi nila alam. Does it make sense? So, you can get some ideas here in Fiverr. Ano yung mga basic, ano yung mga standard, and ano yung premium. You can also do an upsell. For example, tingnan natin kung may upsell si Kuya. Wala. Okay. Hanap tayo ng iba. Hanap tayo ng iba. I discussed upsell also in my Fiverr lecture with you. Ayan. So this person is having an upsell, an upgrade to your gig. So this person is charging 1,500 for that automation. But if I will be delivering this for an extra 1 day pa, I will charge you additional 1,000. So halimbawa, let's go back. Okay. So si Miss Nurjanat, ayan, So si Miss Nurjanat, ang sabi niya rito, ang basic niya is 4 days delivery. So, ang offer niya is magre-research daw siya at magpipili siya ng 25 best products for you and add them to Facebook marketplaces with proper SEO for 1,300. 4 days yung delivery niya. 'Di ba? Yan yung sabi niya. Binasa ko lang. Ngayon, kung gusto mo daw, kung ikaw yung client niya at gusto mong mas mapabilis from 4 days, there's an extra 1 day delivery. 1 day delivery lang ba? Okay, extra fast 1 day delivery. So this is the upsell. So from 4 days, magiging 3 days na lang. You need to pay her additional 1,704. That is my whole point of stacking up values and offer to your clients. Now, that is just an example. Let's find isa na lang. Hanap tayo ng iba. Video animation. Okay, sige. Kunin natin ang una. Client niya si KFC, saka si Fiverr. Ayan. So, this one, 30-second video niya raw is ranging 4,000 pesos. 4 days delivery and 3-day revision. Tingnan natin kung meron siyang upsell. Okay, very good. Now, this person has a lot of upsell. Alright? So, from 4,000, ito yung tinatawag ko, this is the perfect example of stacking up your values. So, aside from this, if you would like me to give you additional revision, you pay me 1,000 another. If you want me to provide you with additional script writing, you pay me another 8,000. This is a great upsell, guys. And then, if you want me to also put subtitle in your video, you pay me almost 2,000 pesos. Pag tinanggal natin yung watermark, nilagyan natin ng watermark yung company mo, yung video mo, syempre, para hindi ma-pirate, you pay me another 1,300. That is what we call stacking up value. In this niche, in this video animation niche. Do you get my point? Now, you be creative. You do something like that as well on your part. let's say for example you charge $50 an hour or $25 an hour, ano yung offer mo doon, ano yung stack up ng offer and yung value nun. If you would like to increase, so bakit mas mahal ka, more than, remember bid ka lang doon sa gitna, pero bakit ka nagbid ng um middle ng high and average, at bakit hindi ikaw yung lowest bidder? Why do you think that you do not bid low in the lowest part, like $5 or $10 lang, pero nagbid ka ng $25? Because I am this valuable to you. I have the stack up of values here that I can show you. And this is a better package that suits your need. Something that can help you save time and money and so much more. Do you know what I mean? That's why I went to Fiverr to show you how it looks like. Ganito siya. So you make, may sound effect pa, premium music. So, di ba, ang dami mong pwedeng gawin. No wonder that this client has freaking 5,000 reviews and 5-star kasi magaling siya. He knows how to sell. He knows how to put additional value to himself. Imagine, no, from 4,000, if I click all this, magkano yan? O, script writing, additional 8,000. Diba? 4,000 lang yung ino-offer niya kanina. Pero ngayon, nagiging 18,000 na. People are doing upsells left and right. Even in restaurant, diba? Additional 50 pesos, additional 15 pesos for a large fries. Ganon. Diba? Same goes. Walang pinag-iba yan, guys. Ang freelancing is marketing. You are marketing. It doesn't matter what kind of business you are in. You have to be good at it. You have to be good with marketing. Now, you stack up values to your clients. You do that. Make sure that you get the example from Fiverr as well. Now, you have to also trust your instinct. There are clients who are nice in the beginning, and eventually mapapansin mo there are clients like that in Upwork na minsan yung freelancer 50 hours na yung na-consume niya. So the freelancer has been paid for 50 hours or 100 hours and then something went wrong. We don't know what happened there, but sometimes the freelancers tend to be, tinitiis lang nila yung client. I've heard a lot of stories like that they're just tolerating the client, but they know in the very beginning that the client is rude. The client does not value them as a freelancer. Lahat pinagawa. Kahit na $10 an hour lang yung job description. Pero parang ginawa na nila yung buong department. Pero they stayed for the sake of money. They stayed because wala silang ibang mapuntahan. And that is very detrimental to your mental health as well. Lo and behold, after 200 hours, after 50 hours, nag-negative feedback sila sa isa't isa. Makikita mo yun sa history ng client. How many hours na yung na-consume yung total bill ng freelancer. And then eventually, they end up with dispute with each other. I've seen a lot of things like that. I've seen a lot of stories. Now, in the beginning, of course, anything can go wrong naman eventually, right? Yung umpisa parang okay kayo, parang marriage, di ba? Okay kayo in the beginning. And then eventually you had divorce. So, probably you did not see anything could go wrong. Pero, what I'm trying to say here, my point is that in the beginning, bago ka palang magpakasal, 'di ba? Dun sa client, before you start your contract with them, if you feel that there is something wrong, you trust your instinct. Don't do it because of the money. Well, reality bites like coach. I mean, like at the end of the day, this is your business. I'm just guiding you through it. But if you have, if you have a way out, if okay ka pa naman, I mean, it's not like matutulog ka na sa kalye bukas na hindi mo kukunin yung client. Trust your gut and trust your instinct, okay, about this person. It's usually correct. Haba na sinabi ko doon, no? Always do a follow-up. Ayan, another important thing, always do a follow-up. A lot of freelancers don't follow up with their clients. They're leaving money on the table. I'm gonna show you why. These are stats that I got from HubSpot. 80% of the sales require an average of how many? 5 follow-ups in order to close the deal. Same goes with any niche. Same goes with e-com, Facebook marketing, and all that stuff. There is a follow-up. Hindi lahat ng client nagsasign agad on the first day. It's lucky. You're lucky you have that. Okay, I'm talking about high premium clients here, ha? And even if yung mga average and yung mga low ticket clients, sometimes it takes a while for them to decide. So you need to follow up kasi nag-ano ka na eh, nakausap ka na nila eh, di ba? You already talked to them, you were invited to an interview. Some are also invited to the interview. And you know what? Some people are just waiting for the client. You do the follow up. 44% of sales representatives follow up with the prospect only once before giving up. And after 4 follow-ups, 94% ng mga salespeople have already given up. So follow up ka pa din. Okay? With these stats in mind, don't be disappointed if the client doesn't sign up with you immediately. Na parang, oh, nag-interview naman kami, coach siya, pero parang hindi niya na ako binalikan. You do the follow-up. Baka nakalimutan ka lang din niya. Di ba? Sa dami naman ng ginagawa ng mga clients and sa dami ng mga ini-interview nila. You have to stand out. It's your job. It's your responsibility to stand out from the rest. The key is following up. Now, follow up within the first 60 seconds. This is very crucial, guys. And I'm going to give you a golden nuggets here. On the first 60 seconds that you were with the client, get their cell phone number. Is it okay if I get your cell phone number? It could be your Skype number or WhatsApp, di ba? Mga WhatsApp number. O kaya kapag ka meron kang Skype number, meron kang US number that you can call anyone in the US. So is it okay if I get your cell phone number or your contact number? If they say, why? Why do you need it? I just want to follow up with you in the coming days. If they give it to you, good. If they don't, okay lang. Right? But the goal here is you get them. Now, while you are on the call, okay, so while you are on the call with me, I am going to leave you. I'm going to text you my cell phone number as well para naaalala ka nila. That's the ultimate goal. You have to stick out to them. Maalala ka nila from the rest of the people. So while you are on the call with them, okay, so your number is 318 123 456. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to leave you a text message, or if they give you their Viber account or WhatsApp, right? I'm going to text you, and I want you to remember that this is me. This is me who left you this number. I'd like to thank you for taking my call today, and I hope that I talk to you soon. Okay? Pero within the call, iniwan mo yung calling card mo, ika nga, sa client. So matatandaan ka nila. At minsan, hindi man sila makapagbukas ng Upwork profile nila because they're always busy, di ba? Hindi kagaya natin na nasa laptop tayo, and this is what we do eh. This is us freelancers. So, ang Upwork natin talagang nakabukas yan palagi, or yung ibang mga marketplaces. But these clients are different. They are clients. So, they're going all around places. Sometimes, hindi nakabukas yung Upwork account nila. So, if you get their phone number, if you get their WhatsApp number, there's a pretty good chance na maaalala ka nila and they will follow up with you. Okay, let's talk later. Let's talk tonight. Okay, I'm gonna patch you to my assistant and let's begin the contract. Diba? You get my point? That's the only point that I have. There's a 320% chance increase that you will be remembered kapag ginawa mo yon on the call with them. Okay? Do this and you are so much step ahead from the competition. I promise you. I promise you that. Okay, so that's the end of my video here, and I hope you learned something from me on how you can set up your first meeting and how you can set up scheduling with your client. Go ahead and get your first client out there. If you haven't done anything like this before, congratulations for staying out of your comfort zone. Thank you for doing this and for committing to yourself and to your dreams. And I will see you on the next video.